even though at the time trafficking over 500 grams was like a mid-man in 15 years or something like that. But anyway, I walk in the building and the dude sitting at the desk, and I'm talking to him, and I walk in there with like a shoebox full of money, and I got a bunch of money still in the car. And I go in there and I don't walk back out the building because in the middle of our conversation, he showed me some product and I'm like, okay. I don't say yeah, I don't say no. I just look at it and say, okay. And like a couple seconds after I said, okay, SWAT bust through the door. And I'm talking about like so fast that I'm like, I got my back to the wall and I'm right by the door that I came in. And even if I wanted to reach for the handle, I didn't have time to do that. Like bulletproof shields, guns out. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever.
All right. Welcome to episode 2 officially of the Brick by Brick podcast, brought to you by Dope Digital. Here with Steph and the OG, Greg. Talk to him. How you feeling, man?
Good, bro. How are you?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. I'm saying another day above ground. We blessed. You know what I mean? So,
Facts.
yeah,
Blessed,
man.
black, and
Definitely.
highly favored.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, really can't complain, man. But yeah, man. So what's been new in your life on the business front? What's been popping?
I've been busy. Got a closing date for the property I'm doing with my sister. We set that for the 17th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
My hard money guy is telling me push it up closer so that we can get it done. Like he don't like waiting. He be trying to close ASAP and move on to the next deal. Got actually had 2 places under contract yesterday, but then at 5 o'clock, one of them fell through because it was at auction and we were trying to buy it before it hit the auction block. And that was like a whole process. So we lost one, but still got another one on the contract. So yeah, last week, I mean, man, since we talked last week, I had 2 more on the contract. We ain't get a closing date for that one yet, but it'll be coming soon. And
Okay,
in the
that's what's
process,
up.
I'm looking for something else. I met these 2 cool police officers at that big project we're working on in Chelsea and kind of giving them game. The guy was saying that he might he want to get into the business, but he's trying to figure out if he should which route he should take and if I'm interested in partnering. So I mean, I'm always down for a good JV. So I was like, bro, if we're trying to make something happen, man, we can make it happen. Like 50% of something's better than 100% of nothing, fool.
I was about to say though, like even when you first started talking about them, I was like, yo, sound like potential partners to me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, make that happen. That'll also be a pretty good story for the podcast as well.
Yeah, I mean, but I
So
kept, you know what I'm saying? Like I kept it a stack with him though. I'm like, yo, bro, this is me. This is who I was. This is who I am now. I understand who you are. You're a retired police officer. So I'm just letting you know off bucks who I am and what I got going on.
yeah.
So I mean, he was straight.
I mean, I feel like they can't help but respect that anyway. You know what I'm saying? Being real
Yeah,
about it. So yeah,
yeah.
man.
The lady, Danny, she was like, I should be a motivate. No, I should be a mentor for a lot of these guys. I'm like, well, I'm trying to do that through the podcast. So we
That's
see what
exactly what we're
happens.
doing. That's what we're doing right
Yeah,
now, man. For real. So
right.
that's what it's about, man. So that's dope. That's very good news. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. On my side, we got a few things popping. Actually, so on with Noir BNB, we're working on the mobile app and relaunching the web app. You know what I'm saying, same time. So we're
Mhm.
shooting for early December to kind of take care of that or hit that holiday season as well. You know what I mean, for Christmas travel and all that New Year's travel. And also, my design company, Polymath, we're doing a special right now, man. So anybody who needs a website, we're doing a website for like $9.97 under a stack. So everybody needs a website, especially in, you know what I'm saying, 2021. So we're all about helping
Mhm.
people get their online presence going and get it cracking, man. So that's what we're working on right now. So
That's
yeah, man.
dope. Yeah, I got that email from Airbnb. I haven't checked it out yet. I just been running.
Yeah, I feel
So
that. Oh yeah,
I'm gonna check it out today.
so for those of y'all who don't know, we send out investor updates, you know what I'm saying, to people who've been helping us grow and scale. So yeah, that's what it's about. And that's also another part of business. I feel like that could be a whole episode within itself. But I was thinking about it earlier today, actually. Like I want to do a whole episode just on really good business practices from getting your paperwork right, even before getting the paperwork right, like having, because I think a lot of folks, matter of fact, this might be some free game to start the episode. A lot of folks overthink the business process and let stuff stop them and whatever else. But like, think about the concept that you want to do, and folks be like, yeah, I'm gonna get my LLC. Having an LLC is not what gives you a business. Having something that's valuable to people and that's gonna actually be dope and make money is what gives you a business. The LLC is just the paperwork that makes you known to the state and makes you official. But having something of value that you can really make money from and having a great idea is what really gives you a business. So that's my free game to start the episode. I don't know if you wanted to add
That,
anything or yeah.
yeah, that's a fact. But you also have to make sure you set your LLC up properly because
Yep.
that'll set you up in the future to get funding. You don't never want to put your business address as your home address. It just looks like you're playing, like you kind of look fluke. Like go, but you can't do a PO box either. But I mean, they have address out that you can buy, rent space, things of that nature. But yeah, don't ever have your business address as your home address because when you go to these banks for funding, they're gonna look at you like you're not taking business seriously when the whole time you are. So
Yep.
yeah, that's a little gem. I mean, I learned that along the way from making all those mistakes.
Yep, trial and error. And matter of fact, even to add to that, I feel like we're gonna end up dropping a few courses and stuff like that. But a lot of folks be like, "Oh, why should I buy a course? Or why should I listen to these guys? Why should I whatever, whatever?" Really, the fact of the matter is that folks like us and folks even more successful than us, the reason why you pay for their courses or their ebooks or their mentorship or whatever is because they have been through it before, so they can save you a bunch of time and energy and money and years by giving you the game that they had already went through or already experienced. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Yeah, like some
what
people have 6, 7, 10 years of experience, and you're really paying for that experience, and you're just starting out. So you're way ahead. You're way ahead of a lot of people. Plus, you're like, if you play your cards right, you'll catch them sooner than later because they gave you the blueprint.
exactly. I feel like Jay said it best. She's like, "Yo, Hove did that, so hopefully you won't have to go
You
through
have to
that."
go
You know
through
what I
that,
mean?
which is
So,
a fact.
you know what I
And I
mean?
mean, I buy courses. Um, Pushman Mitch got a course on
hmm
Toro and the whole rental car business, and I bought it because I didn't know anything about it. So I mean, you have to invest money to make money. Like, ain't no way around it. Or some
hmm
people say you got to spend money to make money, but it's a
Yep.
fact. Like, if you want to learn and you don't want to go through the bumps and bruises, then pay for it. And it's kind of like you're paying for mentorship in a sense because they're giving you all the information they have.
hmm
So just work off that.
It's digital mentorship. That's what it is. And
Facts.
speaking of that, actually, we ordered the GPSs and the kill switches, ordered two of them, and they just arrived today. What
Supposed
you
to
got?
have three. He
Really?
said it had three of them. Yeah, he said get three of them. Because if they find one, you have a backup. But if they find
Yeah.
that one, you still have another backup.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, you did the course, so yeah, you
yeah.
need to order one more.
Yeah.
Order one
All
more.
right. All right. So we got to order one more, and we're gonna have them install them sometime probably within the next week or so, man. But trying to get one of the cars on the road within the next couple of weeks. So yeah, man, things are moving most definitely.
Yeah, I wanted to finish the year off stronger than and I can't say I'm not going to,
Mm-hmm.
but like I wanted to do more before the end of the year, but it's always the beginning of the year because I want to pick up a couple new cars as well. But I'm doing a refi on a property. And you know, when you're purchasing or refinancing, you don't want to have no new inquiries on your credit or open no new accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting until that's done. Then I'm going to go get an 18 wheeler and probably two new cars
Mm-hmm.
just as assets, not
Yeah.
because I want to ride around stunting because I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what kind of cars are like new cars or like economy joints?
New cars. I'm gonna get two new cars or maybe one new car and two economy. I haven't completely figured it out yet. But like I got up today, I'm like, oh, I should buy a Tesla. So I'm probably gonna buy a Tesla and put that out there on Toro and let that bubble and do what it's doing. I don't know which one I want yet. I kind of want the X,
Yeah.
but then
Hey,
my
that Model
neighbor
S
keeps
doing
telling
numbers.
no, not the S. My
Yeah.
neighbor has an S, The X. I kind of want
Nah,
the X.
nah, nah. No, I heard what you were saying, but I'm saying like the S
Oh
is
yeah,
going crazy numbers right now.
yeah. I need to look more into it. He
Mhm.
was like, then you should get the Model Y if you want the X because they've perfected da da da. He was going through this whole thing, which was cool. But all right,
Nah,
bro.
Tesla owners are Tesla nerds, bro. So yeah.
Talking about Tesla, we need to buy Tesla stocks when they come back down. I think they're trading at like $1,000 now. When
Yeah,
they get back down to um 862 to 865, I think I'm gonna dump some money into that and let it sit. Yeah,
yeah.
shout out to EYL and Market Mondays. I learned that the other day. Like actually yesterday, I was
Yeah.
watching it and they were talking about it. I'm like, oh, that makes all the sense in the world. Because if I got in back then when they were talking about it, which I wasn't focused on, if I put
Mm-hmm.
10,000 in a couple years ago when they said to put the money in there and let it
No,
sit, it'd have been at
been crazy.
80, 86,000 now. So I played, but ain't never
Mm-hmm.
too late. So when they come
Never
back
too late.
down, right? Because they said in the next 14 months it should go up to 2,400.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes down, I'm buying, probably put maybe 10 or so in there, 20, let it sit and let it go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
bubble.
Man, I don't know if this is yesterday or a couple of days ago. I think yesterday Elon Musk made 36 billion, or he added 36 billion to his net worth because Hertz, the car rental company, announced they're going to buy 100,000 Teslas to add to their fleet, which is crazy. But I mean, that's just the way things are going. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and that like that deal, like they were talking about that as well. So I'm really just regurgitating what I heard them talking about. But
mhm.
they said that's between a $2 to $10 billion deal in itself. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
crazy.
nuts. That's nuts. You know what
And
I'm saying?
with Tesla going to $1,000 recently, Elon Musk himself, his net worth is more than Toyota.
Yo,
Just him
bro,
alone, not even his company.
his
Just
net worth,
him alone.
his net worth is worth more than Toyota, and it's I just saw I don't know if it was I saw it on Forbes or what, but him personally is worth more than Exxon Mobil, which
That's
is
crazy, ain't it?
ironic because he's making electric cars and he's worth more than an oil and gas company. So that's the future. That's the
Right.
future.
And they're saying between him, between Tesla and SpaceX, he's on pace to be the first trillionaire.
Mm-hmm. I
That's
mean,
ill.
he's on the way, man. Folks were saying that he's the like Forbes is saying he's the wealthiest man ever. Technically, he isn't because Mansa Musa is the wealthiest man ever. So you know what I'm saying, we still gonna hold that down. You know what I
Big
mean?
facts. Big facts.
But I mean, it's still a crazy story. I mean, he started with PayPal, which I didn't even know for a long time. I didn't know that he was one of the founders of PayPal, but was founder of PayPal, sold it, then went on to start Tesla and SpaceX and all these other things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, crazy bread. But on that note, um, it's like, all right, so when you hear about industries like that or moves like that are going to go crazy, it also means that like we can see that things have been trending towards electric cars. So I've been thinking, I'm like, yo, how do we get in on that? And not, I mean, of course we can buy stocks, but I'm thinking like, yo, we need to be buying those chargers because chargers are like, imagine if you got like a charger station. A charger station is
Hmm.
damn near a new gas station. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
like, yo, you got a gas station full of just 6 chargers, or maybe like two gas pumps and like 4 electric chargers. Like that's bread right there. You know what I mean? So I don't know how we get into
Yeah.
that. I'm sure we could do some research to find out, but I'm thinking that might be another good investment, a good move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be a good move. I knew about him and PayPal. I learned that when I was on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
They had like documentaries, so I was like buying them and watching them, and like one was on him and
Mm-hmm.
Tesla, and they talked about his rise. I'm like, oh, that's dope. So like he took that money he made from PayPal, I think it was like 100 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100 million, and he split it between SpaceX and Tesla. And I think it was one other company. I can't remember now, but I know for sure the money he made from selling PayPal, he put into Tesla. You know what I'm saying? He started Tesla with it and SpaceX for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
And that put him where he at now,
Turned him way up. You know what I'm saying? To say the
way
least.
up.
So that's huge. And matter of fact, you know, we could technically claim Elon for the culture too, because he is African. He's South African. You know what I'm saying? So he's still from the continent either way.
You tried it. You definitely tried it.
Oh man, but yeah, man. So speaking of your vacation, man, we were kind of talking about it before, and we've been super dancing around the subject for the past couple of episodes. But
Right. Give me 1 second.
yeah,
Give
yeah,
me
yeah.
1 second.
Now do your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So so we've been so to your point about being on vacation, we've been kind of talking about it and dancing around it. But I think a lot of people don't know your story, and I think that the beginning of the podcast is this whole conversation has been the perfect segue into this. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the retired police officer who wants to partner with you. We learned about Elon while on vacation, so it's like, all right, like I think people it's important for people to know, you know what I'm saying, exactly what happened. But I feel like people will get a better understanding of who you are, who we are, what we're trying to do, how we're trying to help guys and really provide that mentorship. But in order for people to even really care what you're talking about and resonate and relate, they got to know a bit of the backstory. You know what I'm saying? So kind of tell people, and we ain't got to go into super crazy detail, but kind of tell people the situation, how things kind of came about, and I guess some of the motivation behind that. We kind of spoke about that on previous episodes. But yeah, I already know like you were trying to invest in and find lucrative ways to, you know what I'm saying, trying to get to that next level. But kind of tell people how you got in a situation and how what ended up to to that vacation.
All right, I'm gonna preface the story by saying I've I've taken more L's, yeah, than I've won, but it was also a lesson there. I just didn't learn the lesson soon enough because years ago I took an L. I mean, this was like my early 20s, mid 20s, somewhere around there. Like I took, like I lost 400,000, and like, all right, cool, I got to start over and bounce back. And then years later, I lost like 1 million, and I was stressed for like half a day.
Mm-hmm.
But when I looked at it, I'm like, bro, I'm free, so whatever. I'll bounce back. Then I bounced back, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna get this up and do something else. And you know what I'm saying, I had some money put away and had a couple ideas, and I really wanted to get in real estate, but didn't really understand the business,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't jump in it. I really didn't understand how to get my money back out of the deals once I put it in, because I wanted to create a snowball effect. Like I understand business, I know that if I put my money in, I want to get at least some of it back out, if not all of it, so I can reinvest it. But so I never got, like, I didn't figure that part of it out. So I really didn't pull the trigger. Like I bought a couple houses here and there, but not the way I'm buying them now. You know what I mean? I was doing FHAs and things of that nature. Anyway, I get a call from one of my homeboys um, overseas. And I mean, it's a good dude. You know, like we've done business before. So if he tell me something, like we stand on what we say. So he told me that he's kicking it with one of his Colombian partners, and they had put a lot of work in Miami. And he's calling me because he knew that, one, I stand on what I say. I'm not going to take nothing that ain't mine. And he knew I had the capital to make the move. So I was like, yo, get the numbers back to me. At the time, I was chilling. I wasn't even doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of made sense. And I figured I could help a couple people along the way. I'm saying I'm saying I got help a couple people. So he called me back with a number. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't really great, but I could make it shake. Like off that deal, if I invest over time $2 million, but I would actually initially I was only investing like a quarter mil. But if it ran its course, I would have spent maybe 2 mil and I'd have made like 4.7. I'm sorry. Yeah, about 4.7, maybe 4.5, somewhere around there off
Mm-hmm.
the deal, right? I'm like, bro, this makes sense. Now I don't need a bank. I can become the bank. You know what I mean? Because the whole process of cleaning your money and going through that process. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I understood it all, so I wasn't really worried about it. And I, at the time, thought the risk was worth the reward. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, because I'm like, bro, the risk ain't never worth it. Like, when you like when they take you from your family and all of that, bro, it just ain't worth it. Like I don't care how much money you got. Like if you leave $1 million in a duffel bag and you go away for 2 or 3 years, if you don't have money coming in, that money gonna be gone because the bills
Mhm.
don't stop. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Your family gonna always need something. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I go down to I go down to Miami, and it's wild because I'm I'm going down there, and I'm like, yo, I called you. I'm like,
Mhm.
hey, bro, run with me over to the spot over in Miami real quick.
I
I got something
remember.
to do, and I didn't even tell you what was going on because I knew it was in my head. I knew from being in those situations before is a smooth transition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just wanted like after we got done, grab something to eat, do some shopping, and I'm out again. And on the way down, something just said, bruh, you ain't like I wasn't running late. I just
Mhm.
didn't feel like driving out the way to come pick you up. And thank God I didn't.
Yeah.
It's saying to be real, because you done
Yeah.
got jammed with something you had nothing to do with. So anyway, I get down there and I meet this old Colombian guy. I mean older dude, like 60s. You
Damn.
know what I mean? But the long and short of his situation was he got jammed up. So he started working with the peoples. So he was just setting people up to buy his time back or buy his time down, and then eventually make a percentage off everybody he busts. So I meet him, we go to mechanic shop, walk in there, and I don't walk back out. Like it played out like a movie where I'm talking to the dude and they're going through the numbers. And my saving grace was because I don't know these people, I was gonna pick up three,
Mhm.
shoot up Fort Lauderdale, make sure it was right, then go back and get like another 7 or 8 or something like that. You know what I mean? And then double back on them like maybe a week later. So yeah, but that never happened. And that was somewhat of my saving grace because I wasn't getting like this large load where they can give me these football numbers, you know what I mean? Even though at the time trafficking over 500 grams was like a mid-man of 15 years or something like that. But anyway, I walk in the building and the dude's sitting at the desk and I'm talking to him. And I walk in there with like a shoebox full of money. And I got a bunch of money still in the car. And I go in there and I don't walk back out the building because in the middle of our conversation, he showed me some product and I'm like, okay. I don't say yeah, I don't say no. I just look at it and say, okay. Um, and like a couple seconds after I said okay, SWAT bust through the door. And I'm talking about like so fast that I'm like I got my back to the wall and I'm right by the door that I came in. And even if I wanted to reach for the handle, I didn't have time to do that. Like bulletproof shields, guns out. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I mean, you gotta live with your regrets. So I'm pissed because I let myself get played, but to me at this point it's too late.
Mhm.
So that happened. And I sit in Miami bookings, which I forgot what they call it now, man. It's been so long. But I sat in there for like 6 days because
Turner Guilfoyle. I think I remember. Yeah.
huh?
TSG. I think it was like TSG or TGP, whatever they call it. Yeah.
Hold on, I didn't hear you. What is that?
The name of the facility. I think it was like Turner Guilfoyle.
Yeah,
Something like that.
TGK. TGK.
TGK. TGK. Yeah.
TGK is what we call it, right? So yeah, well, first off, they brought me to their police station, and so everybody had on ski masks. Like when they bust in the door, everybody had on ski masks, so you
Mhm.
can't see their face. And I'm like, oh, so this is something they set up, and like they got this thing ongoing because if you're hiding, you know what I'm saying, if you're concealing your face, it's a reason why. Like I'm hip, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't dangerous. At least I don't think I'm dangerous, you know what I'm saying? Like I do business. Um, and so anyway, they bring me back to the police station and they put me in a cell and I just go to sleep because I'm like, I'm pissed, I'm hungry, and it is what it is. So I might as well take a nap. Then they bring me upstairs for questioning. They still got their ski masks on. And then one dude took his off and he tried to be cool. And like I told him respectfully, I'm like, yo, bro, we can have any conversation you want. Just bring me a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the long and short of it. they didn't do that. They kept trying to press me and told me I'm going to jail, but common sense gonna tell me I'm going to jail regardless.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I know what I came to do, and you know what I came to do. Whether I did it or not, I know what time it is.
Mhm.
So they took me to TGK. I think my bond was like 300,000, I believe it was. I spent the first day because like they give you like a public defender. You know what I'm saying? Like when you first get there. I'm not from Miami, so I'm not hip. I don't know nobody down there for real.
Mhm.
So I got a public defender. He brought it down to like 100,000. Then the next day I got a paid lawyer, you know what I'm saying, which is I got my own lawyer and I pay him. And he came, interviewed me, and a couple days later we went back and got it down to 100,000. But they had like a Nibia hold, which I never heard of before, but then I never been in prison before. So I mean there's that.
Yeah.
Um, but that's basically where you have to show where the money came from if you're bonding out. So, and this is where good credit come into play because me and my wife had good credit. We just put it on a credit card,
Mhm.
paid the bond. You ain't got to show because, like, if you pay it from your bank account, you got to show records for however many months and things of that nature. But I'm ready to get out of here. I got my kids to go play with. I need to go figure this out. So we put on a credit card and I bonded out 6 days later. And that's the day you picked and you came pick me up, matter of fact.
Mhm.
And we had to drive back north. And I remember, matter of fact, you remember that Spanish dude? He was like,
Oh
"Yo,
yeah, yeah.
bro,
I'll
if you
never
need a
forget that.
ride."
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I
Yeah, all
think,
right, boom. He saw,
we like brought him to a gas station or something like that. To
yeah,
get him
yeah.
off.
He, you
That
know what
was
I'm
a
saying?
Burger
Like, he
King
was like,
order
it's
and
his
stuff. Yeah.
birthday, and they're not gonna let him out unless somebody, you know what I'm saying, like, is there to pick him up. You know what I'm saying? Can you
Yeah.
ride me? I'm like, yo, bro, you good, son? Come on.
Yeah.
And so we dropped him off, grabbed something to eat. And I remember you was like, you asked me if I ever heard of this podcast. I'm like, nah. He's like, well, we got a little ride in front of us. So we might as well play it and you'll love it because it's real estate. It's right up your alley. And this is how I know God good because the first 5 minutes of the podcast you put on answered every question as to why I didn't jump into real estate, which is how do I get my money back out? And if I don't want to use my cash, how do I find the capital to do it? Because I also knew from being a businessman and also studying like the streets, if you're using your dirty money to buy properties, then they're gonna find a way to take it from you. And I didn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it explained to me what like where to find hard money. It ain't even have to tell me what hard money was. It just told me where to find it. All right, cool. That's all I need. I figured out from there.
Mhm.
And that was I got locked up August. No, I got arrested August 2nd, 2018. I bonded out August 8th, 2018. And I spent the rest of August and all of September just listening to podcasts. I ain't even really read no books, but I ain't even gonna lie to nobody. Like I just
Mhm.
listened to every single podcast they put out, and I picked sense out of their nonsense. Like what had nothing to do with me, I just ignored it. Anything that did,
Mhm.
I took notes and went back to it. And so I did that for like 2 months. And October, I started bidding on properties, and I was losing. I was getting my ass handed to me. So I went back, and I went back to studying and seeing where I'm making mistakes at. Figured that out and went back in November and I bought the first house in November of 18. And when the man I bought that place, it had two holes in the roof, and the neighbor said it's been raining in the house for like 6 years.
Mhm.
I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I gutted it. I got me a little crew. We got over there, and I call them a little crew because they were drinking beers, and like I used to have to come over there and throw their beers out. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you telling me I'm gonna slap the brakes off you, and you know what I'm saying, dumping their beers out and telling me if you got a problem, man, what's up? Because
Yeah.
it's my money we're spending here. But I'm trying to give guys from the neighborhood a job that, you know what I'm saying, like they were good at what they did, but they were just drinking
Yeah.
and sleeping. And you know what I'm saying? So like I was always there on their behind. Christmas, we working. You know what I'm saying? New Year's, we working. Thanksgiving, we was working. You know what I mean? Because I knew that I had a case to fight. So I'm fighting the clock on top of it. And I don't know what they're gonna try to give me. But I know that if I just leave money, that money gonna run out. So I need to set them up with assets that's gonna keep bringing money in. So I know if I can knock out a property every 3 months, I should have a couple under my belt until we keep it moving. So I knocked that place out in 3 months. Um, did the cash out refinance into a 30-year mortgage from the hard money and moved on to the next one. Picked up a 2 unit, did the same thing again, used them same guys, knocked that out in like 3 months. I think I did that in like another 3, maybe 4 months. Moved right on to the next one. And I just ran them up that whole year I was fighting the case. Until, because like I knew it was gonna come to a head at some point. I know I couldn't stretch it out for but so long. So anyway, November of 19, I had court that month. So I had to fly to Miami. And yeah, my lawyer didn't even tell me that. Like the day we went to court, he ain't never tell me that it's a chance you ain't gonna walk up out of here. He just, yo, you got court. All right, cool. I'm gonna fly down for court.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm flying back up. But I didn't know that because if you remember in court, he spoke to the judge and like the prosecutor was like trying to shoot it down. And you know what I'm saying? Like he like kind of explained to the judge, yo, he got some kids, like young kids. So if he turned himself in the first Monday of the new year, which is 2020, then he wouldn't miss the holidays with the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he would really only miss one holiday and 2 birthdays instead of missing 2 holidays, 2 birthdays. And the judge went for it. That's how I ended up coming back home in November and then turned myself in January. So that was like November 13th, I think, or 12th, we had court, came back, and the 25th, the 25th of November, 19, I bought my 5th property and left my folks to work on it. Because after that, I just started focusing on the kids. Like, I mean, we did the demo, I bought all the material, we got everything we needed there. And I partnered with my brother to do that because I didn't know how, you know what I'm saying? Like, they offered me a plea deal, but I get into that. But I knew that I needed to refinance sooner than later. So we set up a whole new company. And this is some game for y'all. We set up a whole new company in just me and his name, new LLC. And we did the operational agreement stating that I can sign on his behalf and he can sign on my behalf. So what I was doing in essence was I was setting things up for while I'm in, we can keep buying properties. I don't have to be there to do it because I made the introduction to my hard money guys by bringing him in on the deal. And then we knocked it out when you know what I'm saying, like in the time frame that we wanted to knock it out, and they got paid on time every time. So they realized that, hey, he's a stand-up guy like I am where business is concerned, so we can continue doing business with him. So as long as my name and his name's attached to it, we're going to get it done. No questions asked. So I did that so that we can keep working. And so that when it came time to do the cash out refinance, we can do it instead of holding that loan for 12 months and paying interest only on that hard money. Like we just losing money at that point, which made no sense. And then we have moved into Section 8 with that property as well, but I get into that later. So so we bought that, and then I spent some time with the kids. Like I spent the rest of my time with the kids, and then flew to Miami. Actually, New Year's Eve. I flew to Miami New Year's Eve, and me and the kids, we all just stayed down there for those 6 days right before I had to turn myself in on the 6th, I think it was, because I think that was the first Monday of 2020. But to go back a little bit in the story, that summer my lawyer had called me and told me that and like in June and said that I mean, he had told me before, but like he was reiterating that my case carried a 15-year midman, basically meaning the least if I took it to trial and lost, the least amount of time I would get would be 15 years. And the judge can bring it up anywhere higher than that, but I can't go no lower than 15, right? And then he started coming at me with but if you can find somebody to put in your position, then I can bring you down to maybe 5 or 7 years and da 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 da. And like that kind of made me sick to my stomach because as a man, I mean, I understand that a lot of dudes don't live by that code no more. But as a man, bro, if you decide to go outside and you step off them sidewalks to them streets, it's rules to that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you got to live by that because you can die behind it. Number one, and number two, the way I always looked at it was, if I was to rat on you or anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not only am I a rat, but my kids that are innocent, they never do nothing to nobody, they rats too. Because they're like, they would never be looked at as, oh, G son, oh, G daughter. Nah.
That's the
Oh,
rat
it's the
son. That's the
rat's
rat's
kid.
daughter.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, bro,
And
I couldn't
I
live.
definitely wasn't trying to be no rat's brother. You know what I'm saying? So
You feel me?
yeah.
Like it just was what it was. So I
And
told him, nah,
actually
man, we just went to.
and I don't even want to cut you because you like you're talking real right now. But I remember being in the meetings with the lawyer, and I mean I didn't need to be there to know you were that type of guy. I've been on you like you were a stand-up dude, but being me, you, and Jeezy in the office with the lawyers, and I remember him pitching that again, and you were just
Right.
like, no, and we was all in there like, no, you know what I'm saying? So, and on
Nah,
top of
but
that, like a lot of folks are gonna see this, and folks are gonna hear the story and try to talk shit like, oh, how he get out, da 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 da. Like, nah, fam, there was never no cooperation at all. So before any of you internet
but
trolls try to even think about
not
putting that out there, yeah,
but see, the beauty of that is there's paperwork. So if there was, it'd be
exactly.
paperwork.
But
So,
man, listen, these
and if
news
you
is like
feel that
in,
way,
yeah,
have a
speak about it,
conversation with me, like face to
yeah,
face about it.
yeah,
So, but I don't even think you even realized, because you were sitting across the table and Jeezy was sitting next to me, and I had to keep putting my hand on his leg and telling him, "Yo, bro, chill,"
mm-hmm.
because just the audacity of him saying that,
Oh, I know,
and we're
I
paying
remember,
him to do a job, and I'm like, "Yo, bro, chill, son. Like, you can't bring outside inside, bro. Like, they don't play by those rules, so they don't understand. Like, they're civilians. I'm a civilian now, and I love being a civilian,
mm-hmm.
but if you're outside, it just is what it is. Like, you got to stand on what you're doing,
Yeah,
no matter what it is. You can't go on there and be crying and telling, bro, nah, son. So anyway, um, I just kept working and kept praying, bro, like straight up. And I think like what you see with me is kind of what you get. Like, I'm not disrespectful because I don't want nobody disrespecting me. So before we get to a point where you or I, one of us losing our life over something as petty as disrespect, I'm gonna just give you respect off bucks and expect the same back in return. So even when they first arrested me, I understood that, bro, you're doing the job. Like, this is what you do. Like, you signed up to be a police officer. I signed up to be me. So I can't be mad at you for doing you, even if you don't be mad at me for doing me. Like,
mm-hmm.
I can't be mad at the dude that robbed me, bro. He a robber. So I need
Yeah,
to prepare myself so I don't get robbed, because this dude robs. There's
that's what
no
he does.
secret, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So when I went to the police station and they was trying me with these questions, I spoke to them respectfully, just the same. No, I'm good. Like, we can have any conversation you want to have if you present my lawyer, and we can talk through him. But if not, I would respectfully like to go lay back down, and I'm a little hungry.
mm-hmm.
So, and I say all that to say, the first deal they offered me was a split sentence of 7 years, which I didn't understand before until I went in. But all my lawyer kept saying is, bro, you're only gonna do 2 years and then you come home on papers. Papers easy, bro. I don't go out, I don't bother nobody. I can do papers, you know what I'm saying? I can do probation. That's light work. And grow up, like, they'd be grown. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, bet, let's run it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's after I got in, I realized that once I get out after those 2 years, I still have to do 5 on papers. Cool, no problem. I'm free. I can move around. But and then with Florida, you do 85% of the time. So those 24 months turn to 20 months. All right, cool. Like, if I didn't have kids, I'd do it standing on my head. You know what I'm saying? But having
Mm-hmm.
kids made it a little difficult. I'm not gonna front nobody. The first couple of months was hard as hell because I'm worrying about the kids. And then Corona hit. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Then COVID hit like in March, and I'm in, and I'm worried about them. So I mean, like, that was a whole process. Um, that was a whole process. But
Mm-hmm. I remember.
yeah, so yeah, so like I went in, did my time, and the thing about it is, while doing. So I feel like prison, jail. Okay, so before we even go there, prison and jail is two different things. You know what I'm saying? Like I realized that jail, like when you go into like the central booking, that's not really jail yet. That's kind of somewhat of a gladiator school because all sorts of people coming in. Some guys really think they're tougher than others. And then you scrapping over the phone and things of that nature. Close the door when you finish, please. Okay. Thank you. And you know what I'm saying, they're scrapping on the phone, things like that. Like that little stint is somewhat gladiator school. And then when you go to jail, it's kind of high school. You know what I'm saying? Like you got air conditioning, it's an open dorm, there's two TVs in the back. I mean, at least how Miami was set up. So they had like a regular TV and a Spanish TV in the back. So the Spanish guys be able to watch whenever they watch, Telemundo or whatever. And then everybody else will be watching the other one. And then, you know what I'm saying, like you can play cards, you can play dominoes, you can do whatever. And then they had like a washer and dryer in there that you didn't have to pay for or nothing, you know what I'm saying? So, and you know what I'm saying, like they let you out on the yard, but you got to line up and go outside like it was high school, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody want no static because like no one in there got more than 12 months. Or the ones that are in there, they're fighting the case, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, so my boy Bunky, older Spanish dude, he was in there for killing his wife, and he was fighting his case. I never knew how to play Uno because I was like growing up, I was an outside kid. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no playing no real board games in the house unless it was like at school in middle school when it's raining outside. So I never learned how to play Uno. I'm telling you this for a reason though.
Yeah.
So I met a little homeboy named Pat, little Haitian kid, awesome little dude. Like, you know what I'm saying, I had him by like maybe 15 years or so. So he just came into some money and you know what I'm saying, he told me the things you're doing. And I'm like telling him things I've done. And like he was, you know what I'm saying, like he was kind of fascinated and can't wait to get to that point, you know what I'm saying? But like he really had a little paper. You know, he was kind of doing his thing. And so me, him, and another Spanish kid named Marco, like we were in central booking together, and then we all got transferred over to jail together. And my dog Marco, he was on a run for probably 12 years from New York for something, and he ended up getting jammed up New Year's Eve because one of his headlights was out. You know what I'm saying? Coming home with his wife and daughter, like it was kind of bugged out. So he's trying to figure out if New York gonna come pick him up or they're gonna let him out or whatever. So like we were all just, so they taught me, well, them two and then this white kid taught me how to play Uno. So like the white kid only played us that one day. And he was kind of bugged out because he was like always doing drugs. And I never asked what he was there for or none of that. I just didn't really matter to me. So then, but it was always like freezing in there, bro. So we would play Uno to pass the time and kind of forget that we were cold. And then the white kid pulled up on us one day. We playing. He sat down. Was like, "Yo, can I deal in?" I was like, "I don't care." So he deals in, and while we playing, he just started telling us about his case and how he was high and broke into somebody's house and stabbed a dude to death. But he was like in detail with it. I'm like, man, that shit was so creepy. But bro, it was creepy as hell. Like the details he gave was creepy as hell. And he was like, yeah, he's fighting the case now because he's trying to avoid a death penalty. I think he said he was trying to avoid a death penalty or something like that. I don't remember. Don't even care because I really only spent like 9 days there. But then I moved from there to prison. And prison is prison. Like it ain't jail, it ain't high school. Like it just got real. You know what I mean? Like lifers, and then they put you in like a transit prison where everyone that's just coming in or everyone that's moving from one prison to another. So like South Florida, Central Florida, Northern Florida, like it's a couple of them all over. But in Florida. So like so if you're moving, like so if you either on good behavior or bad behavior, whatever, they want to move you from one prison to another, they don't take you straight from one prison to another. They take you to the can't remember what it's called now, but I mean it's a prison itself. They take you there first, and you're there for a little while. Even like if you're going to work release, you leave from your prison and go there, and then from there you go to work release, or from there you go back to another prison, or I'm saying like they're just moving you. So it's like a transit hub, but you can stay there for like 3 months. You know what I mean? So like you'll meet all kinds of dudes. Like I met a dude, he just got a fresh elbow. Like
Mm.
him and his brother just got a fresh elbow. Young dude. You know what I'm saying? But like he was real cool, respectful.
Hold on, for
And I
those who don't know what an elbow is, what's an elbow, G?
oh life.
Yep,
You know, they get I'm saying called a whole L.
got a whole
Um,
L. So yeah, go ahead.
and I mean like the bathrooms was wild moldy. The 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 mat they give you, you can tell they've had that mat since like the 90s, and 1,000 sweaty niggas been sleeping on it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? There's no air conditioning,
Mm.
and you locked in like maybe 18 to 20 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like you get out to go to breakfast, you get out to go to lunch, and you get out to go to dinner, then you can go in the yard after dinner. You know what I'm saying? And some point during the day, they let you out a couple of times to like chill in the dorm and watch TV. But it's like a 15-inch TV with an antenna that you got to tie a shoestring to try to get that thing to work. And half the time you can't hear the sound. I mean, that's just what you got. And then the bathrooms are terrible, and the toilet was right by the bunk. I mean, that's just what it was. And then they'll move you from there to your camp. So if you got a fresh life, they putting you like you're going into max custody where you're behind the door like 20 hours a day, or yeah, or 21 and one. I mean like 23 and one or something like that. But like it's I mean like there's different levels to it. And I mean I kind of lucked up because I went to the work camp, which was right by there. You know what I'm saying? It's literally like not even 5 minute drive down the road. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it was cool. There's a lot of old dudes there, like old lifers and young dudes. It wasn't no real mix. It was like older guys and then the young dudes. And the young dudes got like some got like 10 to go, 5, you know what I'm saying? Like between like 15 and under, you know what I'm saying, like to go. And they're somewhere within their sentence, and they like put you to work. Like, bro, I don't cut my own grass. I ain't cut grass since I was in middle school. And you go to prison and they put you on work detail. So you've got to go on the side of the highway and cut grass, or you got to cut grass around the prison, but you outside in the sun all day. Like they work you like a whole slave. And I'm telling everybody this because I want these young boys to know that you got options out here for business. And if you want to be a gangster, they're gonna turn your ass into a slave, because that's really what it is. I mean, it was straight slave labor. Like if you knew how to fix roofs, they got you fixing roofs. If you knew electrical, they got you working on the fence and the cameras and all of that. You know what I mean? And if you don't have any skills, you cutting grass. You are pushing a lawnmower. You're riding a zero turn. You're using a weed whacker. Like you cutting, edger, all of that. Like they have a whole lawn care company of prisoners. And at 6 in the morning, every morning, like you get up at 5, you go eat breakfast. And then you better find your ass at the back gate, because they're gonna sign you out and you're gonna cut grass. And like either you going into Miami, into the cities. So like they have contracts with the cities, you know what I'm saying, to cut grass. So they're getting paid for this, but they're not paying you because you're in prison. So now you're just working off slave labor. You know what I mean? And like through that process, and I mean, like I said, it was cool, but it was still prison. So it's still gangsters, it's still gangs, it's still drugs, it's phones, like whatever, like you name it, we had, you know what I'm saying? Like they had it in there. And if you were soft, like they took advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't no way around it. So, and then like I realized like a lot of dudes, they're tough guys in the street because they got a pistol. But when you go to prison, you gotta check that at the door. So what you do now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like half of them become food. So it ain't worth going to prison. One, because you're gonna become food.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're gonna take advantage of you. But two, like they're gonna slave you out, bro. Like
Yeah.
it ain't worth it. So like even in my situation, I found myself when I first got there, I was me, but I was like a way more aggressive me because I wasn't sweet. And I wasn't gonna let nobody think I was sweet. So like I met homies in there that was like, yo, bro, like I knew dudes that was running it up. Like a couple of my homeboys were running it up off cigarettes, cell phones. I mean, I think we call it spice, but down there they call it tunchi, like all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And they were making money, and like you can read my paperwork, so you see what I'm there for. You know what I'm saying? So you know how I'm living. So they'll come holler at me like, yo, bro. I mean, I can. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to do something, I can put whatever you got coming in on my lane and da da da. And I looked at it, I'm like, I came to do this little bit of time they gave me and go back to my kids and get back to it. Like this ain't it for me. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that if I was to ever decide to sell anything, like it's just like in the streets, it's just nothing but scumbags, right? But in prison, it's like they're all cluttered around you. Like they put all the
Yeah.
scumbags in one spot. So I knew if I decided to get into anything, one, I didn't need to, but if I was doing it because I was bored or because I wanted to prove a point or whatever the case may be, I knew that I put my back against the wall because when you don't pay me, I have two options: let it ride and be a sucker.
Hmm.
That
Or
can't happen.
go hard.
Or go hard and might catch some more time. So I'm like, yo, bro, I'm straight. Like I did my time working out, reading books, reading the newspaper, putting some of the youngins, like some of my homeboys, putting them on game. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to my boy Des the other day, and he was telling this girl, he was like, yo, a boy G, he was like, man, I ain't never seen nobody really do time like him because Dez was on his second bid and he had beat a little, well, that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't my business to tell. But anyway, Dez had five
Hmm.
and he went home right before me. You know what I'm saying? Like, right before I came home, you know, like he went home. But Dez did five. And we ended up in the same dorm at one point. Like after COVID hit, there was like moving people around. So me and him ended up in the same dorm and we became cool because I seen him before on the yard and like at Chow because he was always eating all the food. And then he was working out hard, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he was diesel. So I used to laugh and make, you know what I'm saying, like crack jokes to him and his homeboy because it was him and a younger dude. But on the yard, I would see him dragging homeboy. Like I'm talking about like putting him through the paces, like homeboy be ready to throw up.
Yeah.
And they just working out hard. And then I see them eating all the food, but they ain't eating no sugar, no sweets, no nothing. They giving away all they giving away all their cakes and everything for all the beans. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you got a milk, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me get that, take this cake, you know what I mean? Like he's trying to swap it out.
Hmm.
And so anyhow, me and him became cool because we were stuck in the dorm together for like 6 to 8 months. Yeah, about 8 months probably.
Hmm.
And like I sat on my box and I read the paper or I was reading a book or I'm having a conversation with him or like one or two other homeboys about how to really get out here and get it.
Hmm.
Because like I had one or two dudes that I knew that were talking about like what they was talking about was putting them right back in. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm good on that. Like, but these are some options you got. I mean, I can't call you my homeboy and then let you go out there and fail. I'm gonna give you these options. It's on you to do what you want with them. But what you talking about is one, like to me, it's petty. Like, bro, you're making a couple $1,000. Like, that can't even really pay your lawyer fees. Like, that just don't
Hmm.
make any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, why are you doing it? I mean, and like I understand you have to survive, but you got options out here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like giving them game, or I like even some of the stuff I tell them. I see it in the newspaper, and I just give them the article like, "Yeah, bro, read that," and then pull back up on me. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
All right, that's all I did. I read books, read the newspaper, read the Bible, and every time they call yard, I'm out there running and working out because the prison is set up to waste your time.
Hmm.
And I feel like the sooner dudes realize that, they can make a change or do something positive to come back home better instead of sitting there sleeping, getting high. It's funny. This a dude I met. I'm saying like that's a dude I met at TGK. Then he's calling me, and so I'm gonna hit him back later. But I try to keep in touch with a couple of dudes so I can either try to help them or point them in the right direction. And like I met like one or two dudes that are like legit, like my like real friends now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, person ain't it, bro. Like it ain't it. And I felt like I wasted 2 years of missing time with my kids and also doing business because I found something I love and I'm passionate about. And that's why when I got home, like I got home on the 12th of September, 2021. I bought another house on the 20th of September. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been home maybe 45 days if that, and I'm up 3 houses. Like, them 20 months I spent away, I'd have been further ahead, but nothing happened before God's time. And so I'm not really sweating that too much. I just know that I can't be out here playing. Like, I spent 2 years laying down doing nothing. Like, really, you ain't doing nothing. Like, if I'm not cutting grass, I'm laying down on reading the paper.
But you wasn't.
Yeah, I wasn't though.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, what did Dad say? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Dad said like, yo, he ain't never seen nobody do time like you in there reading the paper and articles in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And like documentaries, like so. I feel like, granted, like that was to an extent a waste of time, especially not being with the kids. But I can't think of a wiser way for somebody to use that time than you did. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like even while you was in, you were still doing deals and you got your credit score up, you got your knowledge up. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen you in the gym trying to get like me in there. You know what I mean? So like, so you, you know what I mean? You,
bro, you can't. Hey, bro, you can't even say that with a straight face though. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You know, but no, but I mean, but seriously, like I mean, like, and me and you was talking the whole time. You know what I mean? So it's like no, like I feel like you use that time as valuable as any human being could. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro. So I say that to say, bro, like you learned a lot. And I know for a fact you learned your lesson. But also, if anybody gonna tell you, bro, your little brother gonna tell you, give yourself more credit, my G, because you did what you were supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it was also hard being like I ain't trying to say I'm the smartest dude, but it was difficult being around like a lot of these COs. And one, I know they some suckers. Two, I know they soft and like they're complete idiots. But then you were gonna tell me what I need to do. Like I mean, like a couple of times, like like I had one of my homeboys. He was wild, aggressive, and angry. Like if he wasn't asleep, he was up beefing with somebody. And I mean, I felt that way a couple of times, but I knew it was a waste of my time because even if I beat you up, right, then at any point you can come back with your peoples and jump me. So it ain't make no sense. Even though I felt like putting hands on you, I knew that it was never a win there. Even if I won, I was gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? Because like some of them officers, like if they talk to you crazy and you talk to them crazy, like you can tell them straight up, yo, bro, take your shirt off. Just go in the bathroom and get to this gangster shit. You know what I mean? And some of them that got some heart, they're gonna do it, but most of them won't. And then if you pull their skirt up like that, right? And they bluff and they don't go, everybody in there know they soft now. So now they have to prove a point by trying to do you something. You know what I mean? So I used to just fall back and try to sleep because it was difficult dealing with these dudes, bro. Like it was difficult. And like that process made me a humble, like I wasn't not humble before, but then I wasn't really humble neither because jewelry and all that stuff was never my thing. Showing off wasn't my thing, but I would hit you every now and again with a humble brag. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll pull up on you something crazy, and I'd be feeling myself. Or it's just like little things I know I used to do that don't really matter to me no more because my job ain't really to prove a point to nobody but my kids. Like them, the people, like that's who look up to me. So that's who I got to set an example for. But like going through that process, bro, like if I tell y'all some of the things I've been through, so, like, all right, boom, you know and I know, and like anybody can attest to this. Some of the pictures on Instagram, like I have Like I literally had so many tennis shoes that I had to turn a bedroom into a shoe room because I had nowhere to put them, right? And I go to prison and I get knockoff Crocs. Like that's all they give you. So niggas playing basketball in Crocs, niggas running track with Crocs, like they fight and they that you saying you're doing it in Crocs. And until you get to where you're going or get money on your books, you can't buy stuff off the land. You know what I'm saying? Buying it off the land meaning I see you in it. I'm not the guy that's gonna take it from you. I'm like, hey, bro, you trying to sell those? I'm trying to what you want for it. And then you don't have money, but you got food. So your food is currency at this point. So like the oodles and noodles we ate as kids, that's cash. That's like 60, like I think we used to pay like they used to charge like 62 cents for one. You know what I'm saying? Like they was raping us for everything. No homo. And so I think like those were like maybe 60 or 75 cents. I try not to remember that stuff no more. You know what I mean? Like a honey bun was $2, a Gatorade was $2, a soda was like $1.50 or $2. You know what I'm saying? Like so like anyway, I sell that to say all they gave you was Crocs. And then when you get to wherever you're going, they give you a pair of boots, work boots, because you know they gonna put you to work. But these boots look like they've had them there for at least a decade and they ain't never get a break. Like somebody always warm. So they was leaning wild crazy. But as long as they kept my feet dry, whatever. Like you gotta, I mean, you there, so you just gotta roll with what you got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And then I bought some New Balance from a dude. Homeboy got homeboy got a whole elbow. Nah, I'm lying. He got two elbows for he got one elbow for like 100 grams of heroin, and then he got another one for trying to have the dude that was going to testify on him. He paid somebody to kill him. Now, anyway, but then the dude went and shot him in the stomach and didn't shoot him in the head like he told him to. So homeboy lived and testified on both of them. So he, you know what I'm saying, he got two elbows. But anyway, I bought some New Balance from him. But I'm not talking about like, see, we grew up, so I grew up in DC and like Maryland, you know what I'm saying? So for us back in the day in high school, the 996s, the New Balance and gray joints, like that was it. Everybody wore a pair of 996s and 997s and a couple other joints. I don't remember no more because I don't wear New Balance.
993s?
Probably, I don't remember, bro. Like I stopped wearing New Balance probably over 20 years ago because I just felt.
Pair and I gave him the Jeezy.
Yeah, so you right. So but I stopped wearing them because I realized when I started traveling, I could look at people and tell where they're from. Like I look at dudes from the city and know they're from the city. You know what I mean? Like I pull up a dudes at the club and be like, "Yo, bro, you from like I'm in Jamaica, and I'm pulling up on dudes in the club and like, yo, bro, you're from DC." And he laughing at me and saying, "How you know?" I'm like, "Bro, look what you got on. Like I'm from the city, bro."
The New Balances and slouch socks. They're giveaway.
Yeah, that was way back when, but then it was New Balances and then, you know what I'm saying, like the tube socks and all that. But yeah, exactly. So I stopped wearing them. But these ain't even those cool New Balances, bro. These is like the orthopedic joints, like the dad joints. Like I see guys, like I see old dudes wearing them now, and I feel weird about it because one, they trash. Two, they were like a prison staple. So like if you had those, it's like having a fresh pair of Yeezys. You know what I'm saying? But the ones I had weren't brand new. Like they were beat. I'm talking about to the point where I bought them from the dude, and then I had to give it to another dude, like I'm saying, like another old dude in the dorm. I don't know how much time he had because most of them dudes be lying. Like one dude was lying, telling me that he getting out next month, and like next month came and went like 6 times, and when I found out, he had a whole elbow. So I'm like, either he crazy as hell, or he's just holding on to a dream. Who knows? But whatever. So I gave this other dude that sewed to sew them up for me so that they don't come apart. And then I sent them to laundry and had a dude paint them back fresh white because, you know what I'm saying, I'm still thinking I'm me that's outside. But the reason, but my whole reason for getting them was to run. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying, just so I can run more. And then I would run in them, and like our yard was like grass. So if it rained, for some reason, my left big toe would always get wet, but there was no hole in the bottom of the shoe. I couldn't figure out how the hell the water was getting in, but every time. And I'm like, I'm telling dudes all of this because, bro, you're free. You know what I'm saying? And you have options out here in these streets. You ain't got to go in and play by the rules. Like, I remember like a couple months before I got out, like I said, I knew dudes, you know what I'm saying, that were making things happen. So I smuggled, you know what I'm saying? I had my guy, I didn't smuggle anything. I had some people I know smuggle me in a fresh pair of white on whites. You know what I'm saying? But then I can only wear them on certain days. Now I'm with these new, you know what I'm saying, like with these low top white on whites, well, Air Force Ones, so people don't know. I'm one of the freshest niggas on the pound now because everybody else either got nothing or them old Nike joints, you know what I'm saying? But if you're there long enough, some of the younger officers, they're petty, they watching everybody. So if you pop out in a fresh pair of white on whites, hey bro, where you get those from? You ain't going to the mall, you know what I'm saying? So how you get them? So like when certain officers were there, I couldn't wear them because they petty. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna hate on you, and then they're gonna take it and they're gonna try to put you in a box, which is the whole, yeah. So like it was a whole thing. But
solitary confinement for those y'all who don't know what the box of the hole is.
Yeah, that ain't no joke. But yeah, so
yeah, hold on. Did you ever had to go in there?
No, because I ain't really have no real static. And then when you really have static with somebody, like it was like a known rule. If me and you got a problem, if me and you having words, and I start putting my boots on and lacing them up, your best bet is to put your boots on and lace them up too. And we having a nice little friendly walk to the bathroom. We're gonna get to this gangster shit and coming back. Like it nothing happened. So it wasn't like dudes was going to the hole for like cell phones and drugs and stuff like that. It was never really fighting or slapping nobody. Like that wasn't really like I don't remember nobody going in for that. Like I remember one time some dudes was in the back smoking, and it was like directly like the CO booth was like straight ahead. Like of course it was like maybe 40 steps, 50 steps away. It wasn't really close, maybe longer than that. But anyway, it wasn't really close. But they was just sitting there smoking. One had his back to the joint, the other dude facing, they sit on a bunk smoking, and he could see it. So he thought it was disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like they petty. They won't feel like they somebody. Half these dudes ain't really got nothing. Like I've had conversations with these dudes, and I realize they ain't got nothing going on. You know what I mean? So I stopped. And like, if you a suck, I'm not having a conversation with you. I don't care how cool you want to be. If you want to bring me a soda, bro, keep your soda, son. Like I'm standing what I stand on. You know what I mean? But they made all of us, like everybody had to go to their bunks, and they can't leave their bunks the rest of the night. So you can't go in the day room, watch TV. Only time you can get up is go to the bathroom. Like they treat you like you're a 5-year-old, right? But I personally was already on my bunk reading something, so I ain't bother me none. You know what I'm saying? I could care less. But so then all them other dudes that was hot about it, so they told them dudes, obviously niggas start lacing their boots up, and they told them, yo, y'all better meet us in the bathroom, or we gonna, you know what I'm saying, or we gonna get it right here. So either we're gonna go to the box right here, or we're gonna go to the bathroom and get to it. But y'all gonna get a beating because we gotta sit on our bunks. And you know what I'm saying, like the officers let it happen because they felt that them dudes disrespected them. So they let the other dudes handle it. But I mean, that was just prison. Yeah. And it just ain't the move, bro. Like it just ain't the move. Like you send your clothes to laundry your sheets, and like once a week you send your clothes and your sheets and stuff to laundry. And if it's 500 dudes on the pound, your stuff getting washed with 500 dudes, whether they nasty or not. Like, so like, bro, I ain't never sent my stuff out there to wash. Like I had somebody in there washing it. It wasn't going out there, bro, because I just wasn't with it. Like I'm here, but while I'm here, I'm gonna try to live my best life. So I had me a cell phone for a while talking to the kids, and then this dude got it knocked off. But then after he got it knocked off, he looked so scary. I'm like, bro, you ain't got to pay for it. Like, don't even sweat it because dudes will check in on you. Like, if I'm a threat to you, I just go tell on you. I'm gonna go to the box. You can go to the box, but I didn't get hurt, and they're gonna move me somewhere else. And so, like, they're gonna move me away, and then I might get moved away too. And I wasn't trying to go through all that. I was like, yeah, bro, you ain't got to sweat it. And then like I never got another one because I was like, if it was meant for me to have, I wouldn't have lost it. So whether I can spend whatever they're selling it for, I just think about another one. Like I just talk to my kids on a blue phone. So I work the hell out that blue phone. Like I talk to my kids, I talk to my accountant, I talk to my lender. Like I made like none of them knew that I went away because I kept things moving. Like all my bills stayed paid. Like you name it, like it was done. Like I off the top of my head, I can't think of it, but everything.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because when you came home, you know what I'm saying, I'm excited as hell, and like you're talking about how you home and all the cool shit you did while you were in. And I remember one of these folks that like they didn't follow me, they followed somebody else, but like they low-key tried to play you, like, oh well, if I was in and didn't have bills and things to pay for and whatever, I'd be able to invest in real estate and get my credit or whatever too. And I had to check him. I was like, fam, my brother, all the bills are paid. He took care of his entire family, and he was still able to elevate in life way more than you are. So don't even ever try to play with us like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you said that because like, a lot of folks act like, granted, like we say the term vacation, but a lot of folks act like it really is a fucking vacation and you just out here, sorry, because like you just out here vibing. Like, no, like that's not even what this was at all.
Number one, it ain't a vacation. Number two, I have seen prison preserve dudes because you really have no responsibilities when you're there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like I know dudes that are 60 that are in way better shape than I am because they got used to their routine. Like they've been doing this for like a dub. 30 years. Like I know dude's been in 35 years, older dude, Sanchez, he was crazy as hell. But anyway, so what they're saying isn't all false.
No, I know case, that, but in your situation,
but for me, it didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't work out that way. Cause like I've heard people say Greg ain't got it, or how did you make it? You know what I'm saying? Well, not to me, but ask other people like, how did they make it? Because they know I ain't got no bread. Yeah, when I got arrested, they took a little over $250,000 from me, cash. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But I made sure I set things up where we were always still going to be good. Like I paid 2 mortgages while I did time. Now, granted, one of those mortgages I only paid for 3 months. You know what I'm saying? From January to March. Yeah, I think I paid March too, I think. Yeah, I believe I did. But like I paid like both like car notes, kids still in school, you know what I'm saying? Like it all like the world, like everything just kept going because not because I'm not here don't mean it's gonna stop. Like it had to keep moving because I knew that if I stopped, then when I came home, I'll basically be starting from scratch. Mm-hmm. So everything had to keep moving as if I never left. Like, bro, not even my accountants knew I was gone until I came home. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason they knew is because I was calling them and we were having conversations. Like, bro, what's going on with my taxes? Bro, what's going on with the business? I'm saying, like, bro, what's up with this paperwork you're supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, we were having these conversations. And to be honest, I think one of them thought I was in the military because I remember he said, thank you for your service. And I'm like, oh, all right. Because like I did all the paperwork before I left. Like I was telling him, like, yo, if I'm not here, I need to make sure that the business is set up where my brother can sign on my behalf and I can sign on his behalf no matter what the case may be and da. So when I'm saying that and then I'm on the phone and he's kind of wasting my time, like, yo, bro, this phone call is costing me a lot of money because mind you, I'm calling from Miami up, you know what I'm saying, back up here. So yeah, it might have been like 15 cents or something like that for the guys that are local. But for me, I think I was paying like $1.75 or something crazy like that, or $1.40. It was something crazy a minute. Like I spent a lot of money just on the phones. I mean, like just on phone calls alone.
Yeah.
So yeah, whoever said that, I hear you. You're a hater. Get your life in order. Ain't no sweat off my back. But the fact still remain that I did what I had to do, and I ain't proud of it. Like bro, I don't even like even on here. I didn't want to tell people I went to prison because I remember growing up, dudes going to prison, coming home, bro. It's like a stripe. To me, that ain't cool, bro. Like being away from my kids and not being a dad, that ain't cool, my nigga. Like it just ain't. Like everything else, like no matter if I lost anything, I could have got all of it back just because of who I am. So none of that really mattered. But the time away from the kids was the hardest part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like just getting like they were 3, and then I came home, they're 5. So they've only been on the planet 5 years. I mean, like they've only known life for 5 years. And 2 of those 5 years I was gone. So really and truly, like that's a long time for them. You know what I mean? So like none of that to me, like wasn't none of that cool, bro.
Yeah.
And by the grace of God, I was able to keep things in order and be able to come home and get right back to it. But whoever said that, if you need help, and I'm like, this ain't even no shade. I'm just saying, like, as Black people, we gotta help each other. Like, I'm down to help anybody.
The person who said that wasn't Black at all. So that's also why I was kind of damn extra passionate to check him, because I was like, fam, you're not about to just think whatever about us, you know what I'm saying? Because not at all. But
the old me want to tell him to eat a dick.
Yeah,
but
I think I might have told him to eat a dick or something like that.
Yeah, but like who I'm trying to be now is, bro, if you wanna help, if you wanna understand the business, if you wanna learn, holla at me. Because it's out here for all of us. It's like so much money out here for all of us to get. It's like so much going on. Like I used to think, and I think I only told this to a few dudes, I'm like, bro, if I grew up in the 70s and 80s, I'd have been a billionaire just because of how easy it was to move around and get things done in the world we used to move in. You know what I'm saying? Me being older now and going through the process and having kids and understanding life more, that shit was corny. You know what I'm saying? Like to even think that was corny. Like now, bro, it's so many opportunities to make money, bro. You can buy a car, rent your car out, and turn that into a whole living and create a whole lifestyle out of it. And it's not capped. Like it's people out here that's really doing that. You know what I mean? Like I can name a couple of people that's really getting to it. Like you have options. You know what I mean? You can buy a house and rent out part of your house, bro. Like you have options out here, son.
You can put it on no Airbnb. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Big facts. You know what I'm saying? Like you really have options out here. And that's why I wanted to do the podcast. Like that's why I wanted us to do the podcast, because you're a real solid dude. But I know that the way we both grew up were different. So we can give them both aspects. You know what I'm saying? Like you did your thing, but like the chances we was taking, bro, like it's a blessing to be here. And I'm thankful. Like I see dudes that like I knew were like real street dudes that like rap now and change their life, and it makes me proud. Like, and like if I met them, I shake their hand, not even on some fan stuff, just on some man, like Fat Joe and Mano and them dudes, like dudes that were, and like I want to see street dudes I know do the same thing, bro, because it's out here for us, son. And like if you can run a block, son, you can run a business.
And
like you really can.
And you know what though? I'm glad you said that, because 2 things. You got stories forever for this podcast. I got stories forever for this podcast. And I don't even want to give them too much sauce right now. But I think that what everybody just got is exactly why this podcast is called Brick by Brick Podcast. Because you got to hear, you know what I'm saying, what you know what I'm saying, a lot of what sparked it, but also you can see what we're doing now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one, like from bricks to bricks,
brick building, from bricks
to real brick buildings.
So I mean, y'all wouldn't know this, but like we had these conversations, me, Steph, and the homies about naming the podcast, and we started out almost naming it from bricks to brick buildings.
Mhm.
But I didn't want that negative connotation on it where people think that we're just talking about drugs because
Mhm.
I don't want this to be a podcast we talk about drugs. Like I can where we could talk about drugs, but how does that help any like how does that help to reach any of the people we're trying to reach? Like we're not helping them. Like we're setting them back. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like we're like if we do that, we're pushing them towards a slave ship.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, to the plantation, that's what we're doing, because that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to show y'all, we are trying to show y'all how you can go from doing one thing to doing something else. And I'm a living testament that yo, you can legit go from that to that. And that's why, like, even when that gentleman this week was like, yo, we can partner and do a deal or two, I'm with it. But I want to tell you who I was and who I am now. This is who I was. This is what I got jammed up for. But this is who I am now. And
Mhm.
then on top of it, bro, like this game is a dirty game, son, because just in the small proximity of the person in Miami where I did my time, excuse me, I met I met two other dudes. One of my good homeboys, and I actually need to reach out to him. I was thinking about him yesterday. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna reach out to his wife and get his information. Real good homeboy I know from Trinity, and he moved from Miami to Detroit. He came back down to Miami and got jammed up on with the same
Kind of
CO.
setup.
I mean the same informant,
Mhm.
the same location, the same random phone call out of nowhere, like that whole thing. And then I met another dude um, from where we from um, that had the same setup. And you know, saying like my boy from Detroit, they gave him 4 years. So you know, saying he do four and he come home, he ain't got no more. You know, saying you know, saying like he not on papers.
Mhm.
I'd rather do the short time and come do papers, bro, because I can still be out here moving around and spending time with my kids. The other dude, they gave him 7, and I think he might be getting deported if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
But he got 7 and he getting deported. But the whole, you know what I'm saying, and this is what's messed up about it. We got drug trafficking. Like when they arrested me, they charged me with drug trafficking, money laundering, using a cell phone as a illicit device, having a trap spot in my vehicle, and something else. And they dropped all the other charges and they left me with drug trafficking. But I hadn't trafficked any drugs. I mean, I planned on trafficking some drugs, but I
Mhm.
but like technically, I never even touched these people drugs, much less the
All you
trafficking.
said was okay.
Yeah, and I just looked at it. But I accept I accept what happened because if I didn't go in that building, if I didn't have this conversation with this gentleman, then I would have never got what I got. You know what I'm saying? So I accept it, but I'm just showing you how this whole thing is set up for us to fail. So if you understand that it's set up for you to fail, if the game is rigged, why play the game, bro? Like straight up. If me and you playing basketball and you got 50 points and I start at 0 and we playing for 100,000, bro, I'm gonna lose my 100,000
Mhm.
or I'm gonna die trying, but I ain't
Mhm.
gonna win. So if it's rigged for us to lose, why play the game? And
At the
like a
end of
lot
the
of us
day.
play, yeah, like a lot of us play because we think we don't have no options, but it's wild options out here for you, fool. Like, I mean, I didn't know it at the time, and I
Mhm.
learned it when I did, and it ain't too late because I plan on running it up crazy, and not necessarily for me, for my kids. Like for me, this whole thing is a legacy play, like all of it. Like at this point, that's what I'm playing for, because they will never have to think about going outside. Like I technically only felt like I had to go outside because I wanted nicer things. It's not because I was hungry and I didn't have a roof on my head. Like we had a nice house. We lived in a nice neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I went to a pretty cool school. It was all right. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I wanted to go buy my own car and I wanted the Jordans and I wanted I wanted things. Like I wanted to build things. I wanted to do things. Like I wanted an airplane. Like legit in my early 20s. I'm like, bro, let's go buy a plane, son. I wanted things, and I didn't see another way of getting it because college wasn't for me. Like I went to college for like almost 2 years and paid for it, and I realized, and I'm glad that we spent the money on it because I don't owe nobody.
Mhm.
But I realized that I wasn't doing the work. Like I wasn't interested. It wasn't for me, and it ain't for everybody.
Mhm.
So I went outside. But if I thought of something else to do, I'd have did that instead. But that was the first thing that came. I mean, that's what I knew. So that's what I did. And I mean, I don't want that for nobody else, bro. Because like I lucked up. Like it's a blessing to get the 20 months I got when I was facing at least 15. And I didn't have to sell my soul to get them 20 months. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't that lucky. So if I can put guys in a better position or at least point you in the right direction, that's why like I was telling dude, and I was telling my other little homeboy, I met a dude when I was looking at that house and I came at him wild aggressive. Like I still talk to him to this day because he's hungry to get into the business. And that's why I talked to you about when I talked to you offline about wholesaling,
Mhm.
is because I'm trying to help him find a way to get into the business because he called a hard money company and they was like, yo, bro, you got to have at least 40,000 to get started. You know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
know he don't have the 40,000 because he has a young baby and I'm saying his new wife and they're moving and things of that nature. But like one roadblock ain't gonna end it. At least not for me. Like if you tell me, nah, I'm finding another way.
Mhm.
Like even right now, like I thought, you know what I'm saying, I thought that my hard money company was playing me a little bit. So I started making calls to other hard money company and private money and things of that nature because it ain't gonna stop me. Like, ain't none of what you telling me gonna stop me. Just like when they thought I couldn't buy my first house, like my mom would be like my mom used to be like, oh, but why don't you slow down a little bit? Slow down for what? Like, what am I slowing down for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't slow down when I was outside, so why am I slow
Mhm.
down here? And this is profitable, and this is setting my kids up. You know what I'm saying?
Generational, yeah.
So yeah, bro. Like, if I can help anybody, bro, we're gonna start posting our IG and contact information. But the goal in this podcast is to help.
Oh no,
I'm
hey
here to help.
man, look, we gonna listen. Here's my strategy, at least, you know what I'm saying? Because like, yo, I'm kind of like the nerd of the family, you know what I'm saying? So like, yo, when it comes to the website and the tech and all that, my strategy would be like, yo, of course we want to build our website to promote the podcast and have a central location for everything, but also I want to build a page where folks can, if they want to submit information to partner with us, like that can be our deal funnel where folks can come in, let us know what they want to do, and we can partner and like, yo, literally take it from we just talking on a podcast, like, yo, you can actually work with us, make some money with us, invest with us, and do some real stuff. You know what I mean? So that's part of the plan, man. But look, yo, so y'all got the backstory. You know what I'm saying? You heard my brother's story and kind of what we all went through, and you learned about the name, how what inspired the Brick by Brick podcast. So you know what it is, but also someone to add on that, it's like, yo, even if you're not in the streets or you're not doing real estate, at the end of the day, if you're grinding and you're building a business, what you're doing is you're adding, you're building brick by brick. I got a web design business, I got a tech company, I do marketing, I do mad stuff, you know what I'm saying? And every day I try to stay productive and do something productive and progressive because that's me adding another brick to what I'm building up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it's about. So if you're listening to the podcast and you're in the real estate, you're in the whatever you're doing, you're grinding. We're talking about hustling last episode. Like, yo, you're also building what you're building brick by brick. And we want to help you with that, help you, know what I'm saying, educate you on that, entertain you on that, and partner with you on that, you know what I mean, and inspire you on that. So that's what it's about, man. So yo, big brother G. And I want to add too, like, yo, tap in with us and tap in with this episode. Share this episode, hit like and share and subscribe and follow and whatever else, because we got tons of stuff on the way. And this episode right here was epic, legendary. You know what I'm saying? And it's not only legendary and epic, but it's super important because y'all get to see, like, yo, we are real people who have gone through some real things. You know what I'm saying? And personally, I feel like come out better for it. And big bro, man, I love you. I respect you. I honor you. You know what I'm saying? And like, thank you for everything. So, you know what I mean? Like, yo,
Love, bro.
and,
Love.
and like for real, this episode could like I think we damn near by like probably on like an hour and a half right now. So our longest episode yet, and I'm glad
Right.
because like yo, like like you can't shorten that. Like people got to hear that. But even then, there's a lot more as well too. Like we got stories upon stories, you know, and not just street stuff, but real business experience. Because I mean, like yo, talk about a plane company. We had the porn company. You know what I'm saying? Like so many
Bro,
music promotion. Like
nursing agency, like anything
yeah,
that you want to do, like anything y'all thinking about doing, if y'all need any help, any advice, whatever it be, bro, I ain't charging nobody nothing. Man, tap in. Cause like if we don't have the answers, if we ain't do it, like one of the homies done it. Like a couple of the, you know, something like a couple of bros right now got a yoga studio in Georgetown. That's ill. You know what I mean? Like Slim and them, yeah. Jabri Slim and I think Nigel and I'm not sure who else. But I mean, like it's things going on and like guys are really moving out here. Like if you need inspiration, tap in, bro. Like we'll help. If you need advice, tap in. Like if it's something like if we haven't done it, we know somebody that did. So it's nothing to make a phone call and put you with somebody. Like, but bro, like our goal is to go up. Like we've done all the other BS. And like even with like hustling, like I wouldn't consider myself a hustler because I was never on the corner. Like I never went to the corner. Like I never knew what an 8 ball was until I went to prison. Like I didn't know because I didn't care. It didn't matter to me. Like I knew what I was trying to do and I stayed out the way and I studied the game until I could get to where I wanted to be. Like when I can figure out where to cop a joint, like a whole joint from or half a joint, all right, bet. Then I'll, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get in. But until then, I'm staying out of the way until I understand it. So like that same energy we take to do the things we did, like, oh, until I get there, like I didn't realize how what I was doing affected the community or just my people or just people in general until I actually went to prison and I was around wild junkies. And then it all made sense to me. You know what I'm saying? But the energy we put into being successful at that, we put it into doing business, like real business. And it's like real money out here for us. Like it's real things happening. Like you have options. Like, bro, you can get an SBA loan. Like you have options out here, bro. Like no matter what it is you got going on, like you want to get into trucking, I know a guy to do financing, man. I give you his number. You don't owe me a thing. Just go pop off and do you. Like you want to get into rental cars, I can show you how to get your Navy Federal loans to go get you a car and do whatever you want to do, bro. Like instead of going to the dealership. Like, I mean, and like these are just things I was doing back in the day where I used to cash out on cars and I realized it was a waste of money. So then I started getting a Navy Federal loan, but then I wouldn't go to a dealership. I hit my homeboy that owned the dealership and be like, yo, bro, I need XYZ. And then we go on the dealer's website and we find a car I want and I buy it and I save maybe between $4,000 and $7,000. So whenever I'm selling that car, I'm gonna make at least $4,000 to $7,000 on it. But like it's all like for me, it was all a business. It was always business. But I never really realized it until I sat down. I was stuck to sit down with myself and analyze what the hell I've been doing my whole life. So I mean, anyhow I can help, bro. Holla at me, man.
and and just so y'all know too, not only do we know people who've done these things and are doing things as far as like different business ideas and different industries and lanes, we're going to be bringing them on. So these first few episodes you've seen has just been, you know what I'm saying, me and my brother vibing and chopping it up like we do. But just know that we got a whole list of people that we're going to be bringing on to converse with, chop it up with. And these are friends of, if not both of us, your friends, my friends, our contacts, people in our network and in our sphere, man. So we're going to be bringing them on to add value and provide information as well, man. So yo, make sure y'all stay tapped in. And yo, anything else you want to say to the people, big bro?
Man, love to everybody and keep pushing. Don't let somebody's no stop you, bro. Like, just keep pushing. Like, no never made sense to me. And I didn't realize until I sat down and thought about it. I just always knew that every problem had a solution. So I didn't focus on the fact that it's a problem. I focus on it's just something that needs a solution. So let's figure the solution out and keep it moving. So yeah, man, just keep pushing everybody. Just keep doing you.
And that's what it's about, man. And like, yo, I mean, a lot of y'all know my name is Steph is Dope, but the dope, a lot of y'all might not know, actually stands for driven on positive energy, because that's what it's about, man. Like, if you see a negative situation, you got to find a positive in there somewhere and flip into the positive and take it in a whole new direction, man. So that's what it's about, man. So this is officially episode two of the Brick by Brick podcast. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share, all that. And yeah, man, yo, until next time, man, catch y'all later, yo. Peace.
Peace.